Monroe, who was one of the founding fathers, who helped write the Constitution. He was ambassador to France. He was Secretary of War during the War of 1812. And when Ogdensburg was captured by the Canadians and the British. So as president in 1817, he came up here on horseback as part of a tour of the northern border in order to figure out how to do a better job of protecting the northern border in case we got into another war with the Canadians and the British. And he had lunch at what's now the Frederick Remington Art Museum, which is about 5 blocks from here. This is the Ulysses Grant suite, and Grant came to Ogdensburg in 1876. He was the commanding general who won the Civil War, and after winning the Civil War, he was elected president and came up here in 1876 and dedicated what's now our U.S. Post Office over on State Street, which in those days was also the U.S. Courthouse, the U.S. Magistrate's Office, the U.S. Marshal's Office, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the U.S. Customs Service. It had jail cells in the basement, which got a lot of use during Prohibition because Ogdensburg was a major smuggling center all during Prohibition. Now this is our community kitchen, and you're welcome to use the kitchen. There's a teapot right there. So there's a big selection of teas downstairs, but a small selection here. You've got a fridge in your room, plus use of the big fridge. There's a Keurig coffee machine with regular coffee, decaf, microwave. There's pots and pans, there's plates, there's silverware. There's everything you need to make dinner, but you're not required. Got the upstairs closet. He's the only president I found who came to Ogdensburg, came on the train back when we had passenger service, but he didn't come out of the train when he got to Ogdensburg. He didn't go to the caboose and wave to people, but when he got to Malone, 60 miles down the track, he came out and gave a big speech. So he gets a closet. Now this is the Theodore Roosevelt suite, and Theodore Roosevelt came to Ogdensburg in 1899, and this is a copy of a drawing of Teddy Roosevelt speaking at the Ogdensburg Fair in 1899. And those are scenes of things that were happening that day at the fair. And that's a copy of the speech that he gave during his visit here. Frederick Remington and Teddy Roosevelt were friends. Teddy had a ranch in the Old West. Frederick Remington had a ranch in the Old West. Neither one of them were any good at ranching in the Old West, but together they wrote this book about life in the Old West, and Remington did 83 illustrations for this book, and this book helped kick off his career as an artist of the Old West, and it helped solidify Teddy's reputation as a rough and ready man of the Old West, even though Teddy was born in New York City, grew up in Manhattan, went to Harvard, was the New York City police commissioner, but he did lead the charge of the Rough Riders up San Juan Hill during the Spanish-American War. Now, these beds were made by the local Amish community, and they're made of hickory, and I thought I was going to die carrying them up the stairs.